All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Tycho Talks. This is a different setup. There's three of us, which is sick. First time we've done it. So Chris and I are going to be sharing a mic. So make sure if you want to speak, you're like...
Testing, 1, 2.
Yeah, we're good. And we've got ZAK here all the way from Wangaratta, which is crazy.
That is a crazy drive. That's like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, trust me, man, I know. And it's like, we appreciate you being here so much. Like, I'm keen for this conversation and for this podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for the opportunity as well.
Of course, man. But look, we'll start off just obviously talking about you. So tell us a bit about yourself, what you do currently. ZAK here also has his own podcast, which is really cool. So tell us about that.
Yeah. I've got the Bigger Picture podcast. I started that about a year ago. And yeah, just starting to get some pretty good engagement as well. But yeah, I've just been working on that. I'm also at uni as well. So,
oh, nice. What are you studying?
So media, social media, digital
Sweet.
media. So
yeah, nice.
Really, it's helping a lot, like just learning about these types of things and then doing the podcast.
Of course, man.
But yeah.
The best thing that you can have is the situation you've got going, where you've got the theory and then you've got something to apply it to. Because there's no point going to uni and learning about all this crap if you're not applying it straight away.
Yeah.
Like, application is key. So the fact that you've got your own project that you can apply to straight away is pretty sick. Why'd you start the podcast?
I think it was just something different in my life. Like, I was going through a pretty rough stage in my life, and I was just about to graduate high school, and I didn't really know what to do with my life. So I really wanted to knuckle down on what I actually wanted to do, and podcasting was something that I saw a lot of at that time. It was 2022. Podcasts were like huge, and I was like, I just want to give this a go. And I ended up just loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it so much that like I'm traveling 3 hours to come on a podcast here, you know?
Yeah, and keep in mind as well, guys, like, we've never met. Like, we don't actually know this
guy.
We
don't. I'm a random dude in
this is
their
a
house.
random dude in our garage. Like, we've never met him. Like, he's complete stranger. But I think, and look, we're going to touch on association and network down the line. I know Chris has got a lot to say about that as well.
Yeah.
But that's the power of your network and the power of social media. Like, if you use social media for good, I came across you on social media as well. Like, via your podcast. I think we might have a mutual who might have went on your podcast as well. But it's just seeing that and taking that leap of faith and being like, look, I'm just going to reach out. I actually think I messaged you well over like a long time ago.
Man,
and you didn't get back to me for ages. Ages. I could probably check I got the receipts, bro. And then recently I tried again and he got back. And so here we are. That's crazy. Something I want to touch on, but because you mentioned this, is you started your podcast because you were going through a time of struggle. And something that I've realized is a lot of the time, if you've got the right mindset, struggle is actually a really powerful driving force to help you to level up in ways that nobody's ever seen. And I know for me, it's been from like maybe specific breakups, but what have you been through, and what's that struggle that you've been through that really made you?
Yeah, it was definitely, one was a breakup, definitely. I think the fear of the unknown as well, going from school where it's routine, lots of, whatever, assignments, exams, and then going into that real world stage was terrifying for me. Yeah. It's like, what's going to happen? Like, I'm going to have to find a job now, whatever it might be. So I think it was more that, but then also like I did go through a breakup as well. So it was a difficult stage, but I'm slowly going out of it. And I think, just working on things that are going to better my life is just so much better as well.
No, nice. I guess what I want to know as well, because you're quite young, right?
Yeah, well, I think I'm old, but...
No way, bro, don't.
If you think you're old,
bro, don't go there, bro, don't go there.
Age is a number, lads.
Age is a number. I used to think that 30 was old, and now I'm like, that's my brother, by the way. That's actually pretty cool, man, that we got a window there. People just walking past. We'll have those things at the aquarium, bro.
Why don't we get him on?
We might as well. Wait, those things at the aquarium, like the that you could see the animals through the glass.
Yeah.
I'm not calling us animals or anything, but that's actually a sick
that's
idea.
cool.
Where was I going with this? Yeah, age is just a number. Like I've seen some a cousin of mine, she's like a second cousin. She's 40 and she does bodybuilding, and it's the craziest thing what people do, but it's all a mindset thing, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're 19, so you're really young. I can't remember what I was going to ask you. Oh yeah, your vision, right? Like, what have you spent some time into really thinking about what you want to achieve in the next 10, 15, 20 years?
Not really, to be honest. And I know
fair
that
enough.
I know
No,
that
fair.
sounds pretty crazy, but not really. I'm just taking every opportunity I can get, really. You know, with you guys, with Tycho, and with, you know, other people as well. I just started an internship at a radio station.
Nice.
As well, a local radio station, which is going to help me, you know, eventually get connections in the industry and that kind of stuff. So just put myself in the best positions I can be, and then see where it goes from there, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. What do you want to achieve? But like, there's a reason why you got a podcast. There's a reason why you know, like, do you want to be on radio one day? Do you want to be worldwide? Like, where do you see yourself going?
Yeah, I think definitely I've loved radio, but also I do want to be known. I do want to go. I think everyone deep down wants to go up the street and want to be known.
Yeah.
With Tycho.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
you guys want to be everywhere.
For sure.
With your brand, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to eventually make a product or something that I can sell on my shows and stuff, and maybe a drink, maybe a food, a pack of crisps, I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of doing that, because the thing is that a lot of people my age don't really want a 9-to-5 job, and we're willing to work hard to, you know, be our own boss, really.
For sure. There's definitely a shift. We talked about this on like one of our first podcasts there. Yeah. The industrial age, which is where our parents grew up, where it was very normal for you to go to uni.
Sorry, boss.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Like, go to uni, finish a degree, go get a job and work that for 40 years, pay off your mortgage. Right now, we're in the informational age where there is so much information around us. There's so many resources around us that, like you said, I mean, kids your age, they're not going to uni anymore. They're not trying to secure a 9-to-5. They're trying to find ways to make money via the internet. And we're seeing that shift right now, where there is opportunity for anyone who wants to take it, can take it and run with it, you know? And I'm really happy to see like someone at your age doing that. Like, that makes me happy to see that you're a young guy, you're 19. I say this to every young person, you've got so much time to make mistakes. But the biggest mistake you can do is not make mistakes, if that makes sense.
True.
So like, if you went about your life and you got to 26 and you didn't make any mistakes, that is the mistake. Whereas if you start at 19 and you F up and you F up and you F up and you F up, and then you get to 26, but you are so well equipped because of how much you've F'd up, that's the best thing you can do, bro. And then you'll see yourself.
That's tough. That is so good, bro. You've got to clip that.
All right, we'll clip it. Do you have anything you want to touch on before we move on to emotional intelligence?
No, man. Just like I said, you have the world at your feet, bro. 19 years old, Zach. So keep it up, keep grinding. And we're all about that as well here at Tycho. Like, we've got athletes signed up that are really young as well. Within the sport industry, whatever they want to achieve, obviously, you know, going ahead financially, or, you know, setting goals and all that. Like, you know, we're all about, you know, enhancing that belief behind everyone, especially in the sport industry. So having a bloke like Zach on board just to, you know, get his name out there and his podcast out there and just push that forward as well will obviously help him as well in that sense. But yeah, we're really appreciative of you hopping on, Zach.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, I echo that. Anything you need, man. Anything. And I've talked about this before as well. I don't believe in competition. I believe in collaboration. I genuinely am a firm believer, and I want to get your opinion on this as well.
Yeah.
And yours as well, Chris. I believe that the top 1% are collaborating while the bottom 99% are fighting. They are just fighting over positions. They're fighting over stupid, dumb roles in their 9-to-5, and then you've got the top 1%. Like, if you think about, I know it's controversial, but if you think about like the Tate brothers, we won't go into them too much detail, but they have a network and they collaborate with each other. They have a network of men and they collaborate. It's not about, and they're all making money together. It's not about who's stronger than who's taller than who.
Yeah.
They've got a midget in their team. Like,
Yeah.
I always say because I'm small. You're not small,
I'm
bro.
small,
No,
I'm
bro,
small.
you're good. You're good. I forgot, bro. I forgot. Because like this guy's like, how tall are you? Like 6 something?
Huh?
How tall are you?
Yeah, 6'1". Yeah.
6'1". But I'm short, so that's why I always bring up height. I'm at peace with it. But anyway, but like, yeah, they're collaborating. They're not competing.
And I feel like there is a level of maturity to that as well. You know, you have to be mature to not feel insecure and be like, oh, I'm hating on this person on social media.
For sure.
You know, you have to really just think that you're in such a good position and just collaborate with people, man. Like, why tear someone down?
Yeah.
What is it?
Exactly.
Is it jealousy? Like, it could be jealousy. And that's really it.
Absolutely.
I feel like majority are jealous as well. You know, that jealousy is so huge in this, you know, population generation. You know,
Yeah.
even like all the negative comments that, you know, tend to make people well known, because I feel like bad publicity is good publicity as well, in a sense. So, like for instance, like there's this girl, Leah Holton. I'm not sure if you're aware of this girl, Leah Holton, but just recently she's really like, you know, come alive. Like I used to go to school with her. Like, you know, I used to know like through schoolmates and all that. But like this girl out of nowhere, like she's gotten like over like, I think she's got the most views on a TikTok video.
Oh, was it her?
That.
Oh, cool.
But like if you look at the comments, man, like there's over millions of like hate comments.
Yeah.
Like you're ugly or this or that. But that in itself has made her like so well known. You know what I mean? And she was recently on this Sidemen. You know the Sidemen?
Yeah.
You know KSI.
Oh yeah.
So he runs that with like, you know, 6-7 other like Sidemen's like YouTubers. So they actually did a like a Big Brother thing. So they got like all celebrities across the world to hop on, and she was one of the celebrities to hop on. So yeah, she's really made it for herself, which is really good on her own. But like, you know, negativity, like it's huge. You know what I mean? Jealousy and all that. It's massive.
But I feel like you can't look at other people's lives and be like, you know, I want to aspire to be them when you can just be yourself.
Exactly.
Like literally on my podcast, I get on so many different people. It's unbelievable. And I'm just myself with all of them.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I keep it to that level.
Yeah.
There's no jealousy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a millionaire that comes on or something and I'm still a uni student, you know. But I keep a level head and I'm like, you know, really grateful for my position.
Yeah, there's 2 things I want to touch on here, actually. It's really cool. First one is you talk about you're just yourself. What do you think the greatest, like if we're talking about energies, we know love is up there and hate and jealousy are down here on the spectrum of good energy, bad energy.
Yeah.
What do you think the first one is? It's not love. Everyone thinks it's love.
Yeah.
Hint, you being yourself.
Yeah.
Like authenticity.
Yeah,
That's actually the first energy where it's like you in your authentic self is the greatest form of you.
Yeah.
It is. Like when you're authentic and you're true to yourself and you're not trying to compete with other people, but if anything, you just see other people as like a stepping stone. Like maybe you take good parts out of this person and good parts out of this person to try and build your character. That's like the greatest thing you can do.
Yeah. It's like leveling yourself up as well.
For sure.
Like literally, we can level ourselves up. You guys can level yourselves up to endless heights. It's just about that mentality.
Absolutely. And then on the other side of the spectrum, which is jealousy, which is we touched on, like why do people hate? Why are they jealous? And I don't care about the hate, but you get to a point where you realize like maybe it's never you, it's always them and their internal self, and sometimes it's a deflection. It's like, well, they forever have wanted to do a podcast, but never had the balls to do it. They forever have wanted to ask a hot chick out, but never had the balls to do it. And you're out like talking to people and networking, you're confident in your skin. So sometimes it's the fact that you're doing something that they never had the courage to do.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what triggers that jealousy. But if they could just sit with themselves and realize that, they could overcome it. And they wouldn't see us as a threat, or they wouldn't see you as a threat. I don't see you as a threat at all. If anything, I'm like, bro, like we're both doing podcasts. I'm like,
let's do more.
Anything you need.
Let's do straight interviews.
Exactly.
Let's do this. Let's do that.
But even a step further, anything you need to help with whatever, come to us. We'll help you. I don't even care about that whole, oh, he's a podcast, he's got more followers. I don't care about any of that. It's like anything you need will help you. But that comes from a place of, because we're good and we're not in that energy of jealousy,
Yeah.
we're then able to elevate each other. And I
Yeah.
think that's a powerful thing. Whereas if you're stuck in that bad energy, you don't see past it. You just beat people down. You're beating yourself down. You know what I mean?
And you're always negative.
Exactly.
So it's not worth it. In
Absolutely.
the long run, it's not
Yeah,
worth
you
it.
won't get anywhere if you're negative. You won't.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I love what you guys are doing, by the way.
Thanks,
I love it. I see your stuff all the time. You're sponsoring athletes. You're going on talk shows. This is what people want.
Yeah, for
This is
sure.
what people want to hear.
Yeah, I totally
love
agree.
it.
Yeah, I want to get, because this actually all ties into emotional intelligence. Like when we talk about like jealousy and being smart and not competing and collaborating, this all comes down, like you mentioned it. It's all maturity, and it's incredible that you at 19 are learning this early, because emotional intelligence, it can be learnt. It is learned. It's not innate. Nobody's born just like being emotionally intelligent. You learn it through your environment and through your upbringing and all that. I'm sure that there are people who are born with a better disposition to it. I'm sure. Like some people are born and they have those, that tendency to understand how to read people and all that a little bit better.
Yeah.
And that gift. I know a lot of females have that. What's it called when they have intuition? A lot of females have that.
Yeah.
But it's something that can be learned.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah.
I guess for you, in terms of emotional intelligence, like, is that something that you value, and what do you do to build on that, if anything?
Well, I just think, what's the best version of myself, and then I act like that.
Fair.
I literally do that, and then I build on what I'm good at.
Yep.
You guys are good. Chris, you're good at soccer. Build on it. You're good at talking and building clothing brands. Build on the skills. Like I edit my podcasts and stuff, and I just keep going at it. So I just build the skills that I'm good at, and having that common sense. I think it's good to have the common sense. I think in those situations of like with emotional intelligence, having that common sense. I think,
Yeah, for sure.
definitely.
So what, I guess in terms of, because you say because this is something really interesting actually.
Yeah.
You say build on what you're good at. A problem that we have, that youth have, is they don't know what their skills are. They don't know what they're good at.
Yeah, true.
Everyone is gifted with something. And you have that gift, and then it's up to you to build on that gift and to duplicate that. So for example, you're incredible at soccer. This guy's really good at befriending people, like really likable, right? Really likable guy.
Thanks, mate.
Okay, so that's say that again. So I can hear.
Thanks, mate.
Did you just thank me?
Yeah,
Say that again.
always thank you.
So really likable guy, right? So, but if he was to do nothing with that, he'd just be Christos who plays soccer, who's likable. Whereas because he is doing something, he's building a brand, and he's building clothing, he's bringing Tycho, he's collaborating with athletes. He's taking his skill and he's duplicating that, and he's creating something big. So a lot of people, and you as well, mate, you seem very likable. Like first time we've ever met, very well spoken. You've definitely got a skill and a talent. I'm sure you have many, but it's about taking that and duplicating it. The issue that we have though is a lot of youth don't know what their skill is.
Yes.
And because they go through school and they get put into boxes, and then they get put into boxes again at a higher level at university, they actually go through their entire education life without knowing what their skills actually are. They go into it, I don't know if there's like a, what the hell that, I've got ADHD by the way, so any like, I'm just like, what the hell, there's a plate, we're good. So they basically are learning a new skill before they actually understand what their talent is. Like they're going into uni, they're learning a subject, and I'm not saying that's bad, I'm not demonizing uni. I just think that more emphasis needs to be put on, well, sit down, what are you good at? Because everyone's going to be good at one thing. And then it's about maximizing that. But do you have thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think, just try stuff. Like, I'm interning at the radio station.
Yeah.
Intern at wherever you have a passion. Like, when you come home from work, what do? You might really enjoy this TV show. You might want to get into filmmaking. It's little things that you subconsciously don't know what you're doing is actually the indicator of what you actually like and what you enjoy. If you enjoy watching YouTube, create a YouTube channel. You know, do things that you normally do anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just trying stuff. Like, you know, I'm very lucky. I found my passion very early, at like 17 or something. So I'm very lucky there. But I feel like, yeah, just try stuff.
Yeah.
Just try.
That's true, actually. And that's with everything. It's trial and error.
Yeah.
They did this experiment with rats. I'm not comparing us to rats, but they did this experiment with rats where they realized that, like, they'll trap them in a room and they'll put food somewhere, and they would see if the rat would remember. Oh, it was like a maze or something. I can't even remember, bro. We'll have to look it up. But anyway, the point is trial and error. Like, they'd figure out, like, can the rat understand that way is not going to get him the food and to try another way, or does he keep going that way? Does he keep going that way? Yeah. You know, or does he realize that, hey, maybe this path is better? Or if he goes down that path, does he realize that maybe he can't get through that way? I'm just talking gibberish right now, but you get what I'm saying? It's trial and error, right? But then it's all about taking action. Like, a lot of kids these days as well, they're in their own zone. Like, if you think about it, we are we spend way too much time, like, swiping social media. We actually put a lot of our energy into empowering other people than taking the time to think about what empowers us and, like, what is a skill for us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about, like, we're there, like, think about kids these days, like, we're swiping.
It's a distraction as well. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know, they're trying to distract us from social media, and by swiping, it allows us less time to look at our own goals and beliefs and what we're actually good at, you know, to pursue, you know. Like for ZAK said, like, you know, he sat down and, you know, he went through podcasts in 2022 and he's like, you know what, why not? You know, let's start a podcast. I mean, like, ZAK's like, you know, very few people that actually, you know, pursued something that they actually, like, sat down and watched. Whereas for me, like, I'm not going to sit down and watch a video on TikTok of soccer and be like, you know, I'll start soccer. Like, I started soccer because I wanted to, you know what I mean? Just taking that action. But yeah, I feel like social media is a huge distraction, 100%. Yeah.
I feel like this is what I was thinking, and this could be a good thing for me, because I feel like whenever I go on social media, there is not jealousy, but I feel bad about myself sometimes. Yeah, do you guys feel that?
I do, yeah.
Like, okay, I see some person with 100,000 followers and with a business.
Oh wait.
Do you sort of feel that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I thought you meant, like, do you feel guilty that you're wasting so much time on social media?
Well, that as well.
But you're talking about, like, comparison.
Yeah, but then also just wasting time. Like, you're flicking through reels and then 2 hours goes by. Like, it takes ages. Yeah. So what I was thinking is getting a social media manager, so some guy that just takes over my account. I don't even look at social media, and I just interview guests and then give him the footage or give them the footage.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think that would actually work as a productive, like, would I be more productive?
To answer that question, I feel like at such a young age, I feel like it's not bad to take on that responsibility of, like, editing your videos at 19. Look, I feel like if you get to a point in your podcast that you're making, you know, like, money from so many people, ads coming in, you know, dropping on your podcast, I feel like, just say if you hit 24, 25, even 20, 21, you know, why not? Yeah. If you get to a certain point and you hit, like, 10K followers, I feel like maybe if you have too much, you know, time, maybe if you have too much time up your sleeve, maybe to get someone on board. But I feel like now, 19, 20 years old, I feel like, you know, might as well just try and edit and take what it's worth for, you know what I mean? Like, edit all the videos and, you know, do what you need to do, you know, on the back end.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you make it, then, you know, why not?
Yeah, definitely.
Social media team.
Yeah, I kind of, like, that's a good question, because I agree with Chris. I think that the best thing you can do is be on ground, like, what's it called? Like, in the middle of the war zone, if that makes sense. Like, you don't want to, like, if you don't have any experience in editing videos, I mean, actually, you could just pay someone to do it, sure.
Yeah.
And you're right, you would be more productive, but if it's something that you are passionate about, then definitely at 19, take the time to, while you're building your channel and your podcast, take the time to learn how to edit. Like, I've taught myself everything with editing, everything. Like, you know, and it's something that I don't regret. Like it's a skill that I've learned where it's like if all went to hell, I know for a fact I could rebuild really quickly because I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like I know what to use, what tools, blah, blah, right? In saying that, I have the same thought process as you, where I'm like, as soon as we can pay someone to manage social media, I don't want to be on social media.
I just want to get away.
Because I hate social media. I actually don't even like using social media, but I know that it is so important to use because attention is currency these days, and you need to get your name out there. Like even like old businesses I've been seeing on TikTok and Instagram, really old traditional businesses are hopping on and they're doing TikTok reels and they're doing like transition videos and all that kind of stuff, where they're trying to get their brand. I'm talking like car dealerships, like cleaning businesses. It's the weirdest thing. It's like
everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like these are traditional businesses that wouldn't ever be on social media that are starting to be like, well, if we want to take our business from here to here, we need to be on social media. So social media, you need it, right? But I'm with you. Like as soon as we can pay someone to manage it, of course, like you would be a lot more productive doing that. But it depends on how disciplined you are as well. Because there are two ways that you could go about this. You could pay someone to do it, and because you are no longer putting that time in, you might get lazy. And you might be like, oh, they're doing it. I can just scroll on Instagram for 3 hours. Because there's no sense of urgency. If you've got someone doing the work for you, you don't have that sense of urgency. Like think about it. When we edit the videos and I'm like, crap, I've got to edit this video. Like I can't be on Instagram for 3 hours scrolling. I got to edit the video. Whereas if someone else is doing it for me, maybe that gives me an out to be lazy. And another person might take that and use that time to really be productive. Like, right, someone's editing the videos, I can go plan my next 3 podcasts or whatever.
Yes, definitely.
So it depends on you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, 100%. But I think I'm just going to keep going at it and see where I end up anyway.
Yeah, no, for sure, man, for sure. It's an exciting journey for you, man, for all of us.
Yeah, definitely.
But then for you as well, like I love young men going for their goals and staying focused and all that. It's really good.
Do you think that you guys will create a podcast network eventually, like a Tycho network of people? Do you think? Not necessarily podcasts, but more of like a network of entrepreneurs?
Really good question.
You haven't really thought that far down the track.
I have. To answer the question, I don't want employees. To answer the question, like just really simply, I don't want employees. But what you're talking about is not employees. You're talking about like a network.
Exactly. A network. It's sort of like talking about Andrew Tate, like the war room.
Yes.
Sort of like that culture.
I wouldn't say no, but we.
Oh, who would have? No, I don't think anyone would say no.
Yeah.
No. Right.
I can see it going down that path for sure. I mean, like we want our clothing. The clothing is we love the clothing. I'm not gonna lie, and I really want Tycho to be a massive clothing brand, like especially around sport, gym. Even casual, man. Like I wear this everywhere, this hoodie. But then definitely part of the name Tycho is it's the Greek goddess of success and fortune. And so like empowering anyone to reach that level of success is part of the brand as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say no. It's not like, when I said I've thought about it, I just wouldn't have an employee.
Yeah, no.
The only employee I would have would be
social media.
social media.
Yeah.
And maybe like someone who's doing our audio, like the video, making sure, because if you think about it, when we get a bit bigger and this is a full studio and we have proper cameras, like we'll need someone who's making sure that that's still running. Do you know how many times I've been in a podcast and I'm like, bro, is it still going? And it's never happened yet, but don't jinx it, bro. Don't jinx it. But like, if we get up and like, let's say whatever happens, like the phone dies or whatever, we got no idea because we're on this side.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to have someone control it on that side.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But do you want to add on to that? Because I kind of cut you off.
With
The network and...
Look, I feel like with the networking side of it, I feel like for myself personally, I feel like I would love to be the face of, majority of the stuff, like with the podcast, with the clothing, and like with future business ideas that you obviously have in mind. Obviously, I don't want to say anything yet, but I feel like, for me, being so like strong about this brand and this business, I want to be I want to be on the face of everything because I want to push it and I want to like show my emotion through the camera so people can see like how much it actually means to not only myself but obviously Nate. So I feel like having us, specifically solely on the brand. Obviously, have employees to help out on the social media side and the back end, but like I feel like to be the face of the brand, I feel like it's huge. You know what I mean? So like, getting people to do the podcast for us maybe won't be top of mind. Like, we can have networking people to run the podcast for us, but yeah, to be the face of it, I reckon it's huge on my end.
Yeah. I kind of like, I'm like 50-50 with that, because I want to build a brand without, I don't know if I necessarily want to be the face of it, if that makes sense. But I am, and I understand that we both will continue to be. Yeah. Like, because I thoroughly enjoy the podcast, so I don't see myself disappearing from Tycho Talks podcast anytime soon, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But I actually, I don't know, man. I like the idea of empowering other people. I actually realized a couple of years ago that one of my strengths, and I have a lot of weaknesses, but one of my strengths is I like to see other people win. And
that's a good strength.
It is actually. And I didn't realize it was a good strength until I went and networked with other people, and I saw how spiteful other people were. I thought it was innate in everybody. I thought everybody was like me and they wanted to see other people really win. But I realized very quickly that people don't want to see you win. They want to see you burn to the ground. And that's why I say it's a strength of mine, because I see someone like you and I'm like, I want to see you win. I see it like when you talk about the Tycho network, I'd love to have people come on board, and I'd love to help them and see them win.
100%.
I have actually a little story. There was a guy who was going to come and help us with photography and video stuff, and we're still really new. Like, it's not like we got a ton of money to splurge. All our money's going into the merch. Not really a priority to have our money go into someone to take videos for us, okay? But I had this conversation with this guy, and I told him, I said, hey, let's just collaborate with each other. I'm going to be fair to you because I'm a fair person, but let's just take it easy. Let's just collab and see. And it was a really, really good conversation, but you could tell that he'd been burnt over before.
Right, yeah.
And he's
you
like,
can tell.
You could tell.
Yeah,
and we were by no means planning on burning him over as well. I was actually going to really take care of him because I wanted to see him win. And if that's what he's passionate about, it was giving him the experience. I'm sure we will find some financial arrangement with him. But that's my focus. My focus going into that conversation with him was, I want to see you win. But his understanding of the world is, you don't want to see me win. You want to take advantage of me.
Yeah.
So we never went anywhere with it. But do you see how sad that is?
Yeah. No,
it's
definitely.
Like, and I can't control how he feels, but genuinely from my point of view, anyone who comes on board where we can help them, I want to do that. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So,
and that's actually like such a big strength to have, like both of you guys to have that.
And that relates to the next topic, the compound effect. What do you reckon?
Hey, that's sort of.
Does it relate to the compound effect? It doesn't actually relate to the compound effect, but that's a good segue to the next topic. So we'll touch on compound effect really briefly.
Yeah.
Because we don't
Is that
really.
Your car or?
I don't know who's.
Good timing.
That's good. Good timing. Maybe.
Maybe that's your brother.
Or something.
Maybe that's your brother.
It's not our. Maybe it's not my car. But someone's getting robbed in our street, guys. So,
no.
Someone's getting robbed right now. But should we? I don't know if we should just wait for it to cut out.
Keep talking. It'll be fine.
You reckon? I reckon.
Well, I'm not sure if the mics.
I reckon the mics will pick up on it.
Yeah.
Let's wait.
Surely the person in the house.
How about I'm going to cut here. We'll wait like a minute. I'm going to get up and make sure it's still recording. Yeah. And then we'll just come back and we'll go cop out.
And we'll make sure it's not this house. All right, we're back.
We're back, boys. We're back.
We're back.
So look, to be honest with you guys, I really think someone's house is getting robbed right now on our street.
I don't know if you can hear it briefly in the background.
I don't know if you can hear it, but I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. So we're just going to keep going with it. But look, we'll transition to the compound effect.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that and what that means. So for anyone who doesn't know, compound effect is the idea of the 1%, the 1% that you do every single day eventually compounds over time to give you the result that you want. Yeah. But the idea is that during those days where you are doing the little things, you don't see the results. And so a lot of people tend to give up before that massive, exponential growth happens, right? Yeah. So we'll just go around and maybe touch on. You want to touch on? There we go.
Hey, let's go,
boys.
Just in time. Just in time.
Just in time. The thief has taken everything he needs and he's out of there. Let's go.
Welcome to, I don't want to say the suburb. Welcome to,
No, don't. I don't want you guys to get actually robbed.
Welcome to Dubai. So, imagine.
One day.
Hey, Dubai podcast, Tycho.
Yeah,
Unreal. Anyway.
I'll actually book a flight to go to Dubai for that.
So, little touch on the compound effect. That was lighting as well. So the compound effect, for me, I feel like of personal development refers to the principle that small, obviously like Nate touched on, consistent improvements in various areas of life, and it can lead to significant long-term results. And like just touch on Nate, I feel like a lot of people that start off their business, I feel like if they don't see growth within the first 2 to 3 months, 4 months, and if they have like a clothing brand that they want to have 20 sales within the first hour or the first month or the first minute, obviously you're not going to get everything in life that you want. So I feel like no matter what you want and what you want to achieve, you got to always keep pursuing it, and it'll come. It might not happen next year, 5 months, 6 months. It might happen in 2-3 years, but if you vision it and if you manifest it, like we've touched on in the past podcast, I feel like will happen. But so like consistent improvements in various areas of life can lead to significant long-term results. And just like that, compound interest in finance, just touch on that, where small deposits grow over time, personal development compounds as you continually invest in improving yourself. And like, for instance, developing good habits such as daily exercise, reading, or learning new skills may seem minor on a daily basis, but over weeks, months, and years, they can lead to substantial improvements in health, knowledge, and capability. Similar traits like resilience, positivity, and effective communication gradually enhances your personal and professional relationships and success as well. But look, overall, I feel like the compound effect of personal development underscores the importance of consistent effort, persistence as well, and patience in achieving meaningful growth and transforming your life and even your family's life as well. So yeah,
definitely
believe, manifest, vision, and everything takes time. Everything takes time. Everything, relationship, money, even like when you buy property, everything takes time. Everything grows. It takes time. So yeah, that's my point. Zach, going to touch on it?
Well, I just think like we live in a world where back to social media, where we look at what people already have, but you're at the early stages of it. I feel like people see way too much too early. Yeah. Like there's 14-year-old kids looking on social media with people with Lamborghinis and but they're seeing it too early because people decades, centuries ago didn't know all this was happening. Yeah. It was only a small, tight knit of people. Mm. So we're seeing too much too early, I think. Yeah. And that, comes down to comparing yourself and stuff. So I feel like, what was it? Compounding.
Yeah.
I feel like, just doing the small little steps. And you don't have to have everything straight away. Sure. I feel like people think they have to have things straight away. Yeah. Takes time. Absolutely. Takes decades. We're still going to be healthy. With modern medicine, we're still going to be healthy when we're like 70. Yeah. So sure. It's just all about time. Yeah. Take time and take opportunities. Patience and take opportunities.
For sure. I'm a big believer in patience. This is actually something that I want to touch on because you touched on compound interest in finances and you touched on time. And I want to touch on all of it. I want to bring it home and then we'll go to association network. So if you think about your finances, the saying, nobody reached being a millionaire by saving their money. You don't reach wealth by saving your money. How you reach wealth is you invest that money and it compounds over time. Okay? Time. All right? So you think about your super or whatever. You put money in a fund that returns you 9% a year. And you've invested that, and then over time, it compounds eventually. All right? It depends on how you invest your money, right? It's the same with you and your behavior and your skills. If you don't do anything, if you don't read, if you don't listen to personal development podcasts, if you don't intentionally try to better yourself that 1% every day, if you don't gym, if you don't take care of your body, the same way that your money sits in a bank account and saves itself, you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to reach that ultimate version of you, that wealth. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get the point I'm trying to make? Whereas if you take your life and you start to invest it in different areas like relationships, the right relationships, go to the gym, be around better people, which we'll touch on in a second, and you start to invest it in those categories, that is what's going to compound and give you that return on investment in time. And so it's the same thing. It's like the same saying that's you don't save your way to $1 million. You're not going to get yourself to the ultimate version of you by staying stagnant, by staying still. You have to go out there and take risk and take opportunity, like you said, and use time to your advantage. And then eventually it's not about getting from A to your goal in one day or 1 week. You know, I've been on this journey of personal development for years. I haven't got where I want to be, but I can see my improvement over the years. I can reflect and I can be like, holy crap, like I'm improving. I'm eventually going to get there. So that's just something I wanted to touch on.
You know what? You're doing better than 95% of the rest of Australia. Doing all this.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Having the business, sponsoring athletes, building a brand, building a clothing brand. No one does this. You guys are on the right path. You guys are.
You too, man.
Thanks, man.
You too. We're keen to see success, man. You're a young guy. You're definitely going to make it. And it's all about impact as well. Like I've always told Chris, how many times have I said like the money's going to come? Like the money, and he knows this as well. The money will come. Just if you are too focused on the money, you're never going to get it. If you're too focused on trying to make the money, you're never going to get it. It's about impact, you know? And that's why even with the hoodies, like I'm not trying to advertise our hoodies right now, but like they're cheap for a reason. And someone told me the other day, don't say cheap, they're affordable for a reason. Like, because we want people to be satisfied with the product. And we want a lot of people in Tycho. We don't just want like people who can afford it. You know what I mean? Like we want everyone to have an affordable hoodie that's like really good quality. And so, yeah, in the short term, are we at a loss financially? Probably, because our profit margin is not as big as it could be. Like if we're manufacturing them and we're selling it we're selling for 60, like our profit margin is not as good as if we were selling them for what other competitors are selling them for, like 75, 80, 90. So short term, we're at a loss financially, but that's why I always say, don't worry about the money. The money will come. Just worry about impact, how people are feeling about your brand. Do they buy into the brand? Are they buying into the purpose behind the brand? That sort of thing. You know what I mean?
And that will obviously cause a long-term effect.
Exactly, yeah. All right, let's touch on association and network, because this is powerful, and this is why we're here, because of network, you know, because somehow we, you know...
Zach did reply to Nate also years ago, and now...
While Chris is talking, while Chris is touching on association and network, I'm going to find out exactly how long it's been.
You know what?
That's crazy.
I don't even like look at my...
Left you on red.
Honestly,
Left you on red.
enough, man.
No, how do you feel? We left you on red.
Fair enough.
I didn't even leave him on red.
You used to it?
He didn't even acknowledge me, bro.
So while Nate goes through the messages, was it for his podcast or for his personal Insta?
I found it. Yeah, serious podcast. So,
Hey
bro, where are you based? Would love to collaborate one day. 15th of September.
Bro.
And then I double texted you. Well, I didn't. No, I didn't. 5th of May, I'm like, bro, are we going to collab or what? And then you only waited a day, so that's good.
So September, that was... So when did we start Tycho? Was it...
Like not... That was like around the same time?
No, we started November. Or maybe October? November. I feel like we started the giveaway module in October. We started planning in September. We started in October.
So that means I would have been like one of the first guests.
Bro, you would have been before Tycho was even the thing.
Yeah, I would have...
Before, yeah. I remember you were saying like you wanted to go on podcast and talk like your thoughts and stuff before.
Oh, you guys, just so you're aware, I reached out to this guy before this was even a thing.
Yeah, before,
Yeah. So what was it before this? Or you just wanted to do a podcast with me? What was it?
We were still in that... We were still in that planning. We were still planning.
Yeah,
When you wanted to do something, I knew I wanted to do a podcast. Keep in mind, I was doing YouTube before this.
Yeah.
Like I had a YouTube channel already that I was doing videos. To be honest, this is way better. I would rather do a podcast because I can meet people like you, learn from people like you, have these conversations, than just stand there and talk about personal development in front of a camera.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of that, but...
Heaps.
Yeah.
I remember like he used to do like all these reels and like, was it in your room or did you have like a little study? Like he used to like stand in front of a whiteboard and just talk, like, you know, emotional stuff, personal development stuff and all that. And then he kind of, from that, we started Tycho giveaways, and then from Tycho giveaways, Tycho Wear, and then we just started, you know, why don't we just do a podcast, Tycho Talks, TT, you know what I mean?
So do you still, so I saw you got a $1,000 giveaway.
Yeah.
Do you do any more giveaways, or is it more just with the actual clothing?
Yeah,
brand?
so like I said, we started off with we did a $500 giveaway, and then we've got to obviously do a giveaway with iPhones and laptops and all that, and electronics. But obviously, we started doing Tycho wear, and recently we actually did this $50 game. So we actually did $50 a week. We just planted anywhere in Melbourne.
I see.
Just get some traction and views from that, and it was actually really good. And literally, like within like 3-4 hours, people would just like grab the $50. You know what I mean? And now with the $1,000 giveaway. It ends the 30th of June. That we're going to announce a winner. So all you need to do is literally, if you purchase a hoodie, it's 4 entries. If you purchase a tee, it's 1 entry. And yeah, start of the month, and the winner will be announced. Yeah, I think from now probably another 14, 15 days from now. So yeah, it's exciting. So $1,000.
Can I just answer your question? So we went into like LMT. What is it?
LMT Plus.
That guy.
LMT
Plus. There are companies out there who do give away as an actual business model.
Oh, right.
And there are a lot of loopholes, but they can do that. Oh, you good? No, no, don't say so, bro. Just make sure that it's still recording, so that's good.
Yeah.
Was the magnet even there?
Oh, there it is.
It's all good, man. So a lot of people do giveaways as like an actual business, and that's what we started. And then we're like, no, we don't want to do that for now.
Yeah.
So we're using giveaway now. Like we got the $50 game that we want to keep doing, but obviously we're about to give away $1,000, so we just have to be a bit smart, you know.
Yeah.
But the giveaway that we're doing now is more of a trade promotion giveaway, where it's like, you know how companies will come out and they'll give away when you purchase a product or whatever.
Yeah.
Like so it's not really a business. It's like we're using the giveaway model to help promote the brand. But then down the track, if you ask me like what the vision is, I have always liked the Mr. Beast vision of like just giving crap away.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to the point where we just give away laptops, MacBooks out to like randoms on the street.
On the street,
yeah. Bro, I love that.
Do you think you guys would do more street interviews as well? Does that make you want to go out and interview people?
Yeah.
Doing street interviews?
For sure. We can, it's a time thing, but definitely because when our hoodies came out, I went out, and we should do this together, by the way. I went out and I interviewed random people. And that was really fun. It was really awkward.
Yeah.
Out of your comfort zone, because what you find in Australia is different. It's different to America. I've never been to America, but I've watched a lot of what Americans do, and they're very out there. And even my sister, actually, I've been to Hawaii, so that is part of America, not in the mainland. But Americans are very out there, like very out there. Like my sisters, when they went to America, like they got whistled at, they got...
Oh, wow.
Oh, bro, it's like next level, they were telling me. Like the men are not afraid to approach them and like hit on them. Bro, it's next level over there. And so my sister, like, she's like, I'd never experienced anything like that because in Australia, nobody... Like if you approach someone on the street with a camera, they think you're weird. Or if I'm on a bus and I hate this, by the way, if I'm on a bus and I try to make a friend with someone, they think that I want something from them.
Yes.
And they get scared. Yes. If I'm trying to befriend someone or like make friends with someone at like a coffee shop, they think that I need something from them. I want, like, why is this guy trying to make friends? It's like, no, I'm just being friendly, bro. Just chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But to answer your question, like we want to do more of that. I'd love to go out and do street interviews. We could even do it together sometime when you're in Melbourne.
I'm down.
It'd be sick. Because it's fun.
It's so fun.
And it's fun, but it's uncomfortable because you will interact with people who will make you feel terrible. Like they will give you that response that will make you feel like you'll feel a bit embarrassed. But when you can get over that embarrassment, it's so fun, man.
And also the end product. When you've got that end product, man, you're laughing.
Absolutely,
you're laughing.
Absolutely. No, you're right. I mean, one of ours kind of. It didn't go off, but it got quite a few views of us interviewing people about these hoodies. And you're right, like when you do that on a day-to-day basis or a week-to-week basis and you start to get good content from that, it can go off, man. It's really good. It's really good to advertise a brand. Back to you, Chris. You want to touch on
association and networking? Yeah, so I feel like for me with personal development, I feel like this is, for me, the top of the top. Because I don't feel like I would be where I am today if it wasn't for my association and networking. Like, for instance, like I started working with Nate a year and a half ago now in finance. I've been in finance for 4 or 5 odd years now. And I was telling ZAK earlier how we met. And like, first couple of weeks didn't really speak much. But yeah, after a month or so, we kind of had similar goals and ambitions, and sat down and be like, why don't we just start a side hustle and see where it takes us? So so that association with getting to know Nate and him being part of my close circle is really important. But I feel like just having a good circle of friends is so crucial in personal development. And I feel like the first one is obviously support and encouragement. I get this a lot from Nate. Good and bad encouragement, obviously, like bad and good ones. But look, in saying that, friends can provide emotional support, encouragement, and motivation during challenging times. So, for instance, if something's not going well with the business, with the clothing brand, if we're not getting sales like I want to, that would just bring me down to earth, calm down, like we got this, which happened in the past. You know what I mean? Yeah, and like I feel like different perspectives as well is really crucial to have in a business and to start something. And even in a podcast, to jump on a podcast and have ZAK come on as a different perspective, to get his thoughts as well on different ideas and topics is really good. And accountability, this is one Nate loves as well. Accountability.
This is your go-to.
Accountability. So yeah, I'm not a book fan. So Nate obviously touched on when we started off, I've got to start reading books. And that was one thing that even till this day, he still obviously pushes me to do. So accountability is huge on Nate's end. And like I said, it just grows, grows connections within, relationships within business, associates, networking, whatever it is. If you find someone accountable, even going out on a networking or social basis, it helps in every sense. So that's a really good part as well. Learning and growth, obviously, from one another is really crucial as well. And social skills. I feel like if you don't have social skills in this day-to-day life, I feel like it's hard to make it. So to be socially aware and not to be socially awkward around people is, something to be really proud of, because, mate, if you can go up to a person, just sell your product or just have a conversation, how's your day been? It not only makes you feel better, but I don't know, just gives out happy vibes. I feel like if everyone's like that in the world, I feel like it would just be such a more happy place and more happy environment as well for everyone to be a part of. But that's why I feel like, especially to have a really good close circle. And my grandpa said this as well when I grew up, you got 5 fingers. And if you count your 5 fingers, I feel like if you have more than 5 close friends, it's too much. So I feel like, if you have less than 5 friends, or if you have 5 friends, I feel like that's a really good circle to have and to stick by. Because one friend could be good, with money side. Another one could be good with networking side. Another friend could be good with, sports, athlete side. So whatever similarities obviously are aligned in that sense. I feel like that's really good to have as well. Nate? So,
Definitely.
that's my kind of...
Oh, sorry, keep going.
That's my go for it. It's weird with the mics.
Yeah, I know. Actually, speaking on social awareness, I want to make it really clear. This setup, we will fix the setup in the future. I don't want anyone to think that, when Zach's talking that... Because do you feel included?
No, I don't. I feel excluded, bro.
Bro, yeah, do you feel included, bro? I just want everyone to make sure that they feel included, because, the only reason I'm in the middle, by the way, is because Chris is you're short. It's going to be proportionate. Guys, I'm not in the middle because I want to be. Oh, man.
But relax, you're not that short.
But also, you're the host, aren't you, as well?
No, we're both.
Usually.
We're both. Oh, look, because he plays semi-professional soccer. I help him out. In times that he's not here, it's just we want to get these out weekly. So it's not I want to be the host, but But yeah, anyway, so I just want people to be aware, as long as you don't feel excluded or anything.
Can't wait.
But what he mentioned, though, is really important. And I want to go back and forth with the three of us on association, negative association, positive association. Something I really want to make crystal clear, and something I've really been trying to explain to Chris a lot. Because I love you like a brother, I'm going to give you tough love. It's the people who don't tell you to read and who tell you to stay in your comfort zone and to tell you, oh, you're good, bro. You don't need to improve here. Your speech is perfect. You're really good at this. Those people are the ones you should be worried about.
Yeah.
If they're telling you to your face that you're good, you should be worried about that. Whereas me, I'm really tough on this guy. But I also compliment him where he does well. So I saw him reading the other day and I'm I was complimenting you. Was I not?
Yeah.
But I was reinforcing it. Holy crap. Good on you, man. But it's not just that. It's even with me, it's about with the people that you are close to, you don't want to be leading them down a path of destruction and comfort. Comfort is destruction. You don't want to lead them down that. If I'm there as a mate of Chris's and I'm not trying to help him get better, I'm not saying, hey, fix your speech here, hey, maybe do this, then I'm not a good friend. But that's what people don't get. They get like they think that if I'm being nice to him, that's good for him. It's not good for him. If I've got tough love, or I'm like, yo, like we got to be better here. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not really explaining it well, but do you understand the point I'm trying to make?
You're pushing him.
You want to push him.
It's to the good levels though.
Exactly.
Well, that's when the different perspectives come along with that as well. You know, the fact that Nat has a different perspective of where, like, things I'm good at and things I'm not good at, and for him to kind of make me accountable is really good. And vice versa, you know what I mean?
But also,
it works both ways.
Go all in on what you're good at.
Yeah, no,
Why
100%.
not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. No,
Bro,
I'm huge with that.
Literally, just go all in because you're so good at what you do.
Yeah.
What you guys do.
And if you don't, then, mate, 10, 15 years down the track, we'll be hitting our heads on the wall saying, why didn't we do that? Why didn't we pursue that? You know what I mean? So making us accountable and just growing off one another is huge. So, yeah.
For sure. Sorry, I keep going like
Yeah,
this.
no, that's funny. That's I'm sweating.
That's all right. It's stuff. We'll get another mic.
Yeah, we are.
But
don't worry.
also, what I'm thinking is, what's the difference between, like, you know, a massive clothing brand and like a little one is like the storytelling. And you guys have done that very well, but also you can build on it. Like what you've got in this room. Create a story around it.
For sure.
Because people follow stories.
You're so right. You know, just to touch on that, Patrick Bet-David, he talks about this. He said the most successful people are storytellers. They can captivate an audience through how they speak. We could have me and another person, and we could both be saying the exact same thing, but the way that I add emotion to it, the way that the tone of my voice goes up and down, the way that I use my arms, someone might actually prefer me than Jeffrey over there, even though Jeffrey is saying the exact same thing as me.
Yeah.
You know, you're absolutely right. Storytelling is important. And you learn that through network, you learn that through association. There's some people around you who are pushing you to be better. And we all know the saying of, you know, if you're the best in a room, you need to find another room. And I'm a big believer in that. If I feel like I'm the best in any room, what am I going to gain by being the best in a room? Ego? Like, cool, I'm going to stroke my ego for a bit. What am I going to gain from that? You know what I mean? So it's about, for me anyway, I'm a really strong believer in this. If I'm starting to look too good, it means that I'm not in the right place. I need to go and put myself in the deep end again where I'm drowning, and I need to teach myself to swim in that deep end.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's like
100%.
you're as a kid and you're in the pool. If you're on the edge of the pool and you're comfortable with that, what good is that? Cool, you're having a little bit of fun, but you want to learn you need to put yourself in the deep end and learn how to swim in the deep end, and then do it over and over and over again until you reach that level where you want to be, you know?
Definitely. No, 100%. I think everyone should have challenges in life, and everyone should challenge themselves. That's what I think.
For sure. What are your thoughts on association? Because you're young though, but
Yeah.
do you have any
different-
experience with negative association versus positive association?
Not really. Maybe
Fair.
just at school. Maybe just like the conflict of, you know, different opinions and like people having, you know, different aspirations than others and point of views. But other than that, like I haven't really experienced life. I haven't like I just got out of high school last year, so
Fair.
you know.
Yeah.
So but you know, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
For you know, chucking myself into challenging situations because I know it's just going to be a really good learning experience.
For sure.
So,
Absolutely. Something I want to touch on as well is, and we talked about this kind of off camera before.
yeah,
I think it's important to touch on the slide, right? Association, and this is something that you'll learn because you're so young, you're absolutely right. What we tend to find with young people is usually your association is directly correlated to proximity. Do you know what I mean by that?
like
So it's
people around.
people around you, right? So you're at school and you're friends with the people around you because you see them. It's proximity and it's frequency. So how close they are to you and how often do you see them? And that's usually your circle until you become a bit more intentional about it. And so if you're in a circle by default that is actually going downhill and that's very negative and they're all smoking, they're drinking on a daily basis, they got nothing going for them. Sometimes you got to realize, like, because you can be put in that situation not on your own fault, not by what am I saying? Like, it's not your fault that you're in that situation. It's just because you're young, you're at university with them, you're at school with them. But you've got to then take that, make that intentional decision to get out of that and try and find a better group or a better group of people. Because what I was telling Chris before is you could be around a good association and you could incrementally get better. But as soon as you hang out with someone who's a negative impact on you, who's got a negative impact on you, right? That's my mom, by the way. She's like staring. She's like, who's this guy? As soon as you've got someone has a negative impact on you, they're actually going to take you down at a faster rate than that person who's trying to drag you up.
Yes.
So I was telling Chris this analogy. If I'm trying to drag you up, it's a lot harder for me to drag both of us up a mountain than for a friend to hold your hand and slide down with you.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like what takes more effort, for me to drag both of you up a mountain, or for me or for someone else to hold your hand and down the slide you go?
Down the slide.
Exactly. There's more momentum, unfortunately, going downwards. So if you think about momentum as well, momentum is going to be on the side of the person who's on the downward trajectory, right? And so you've got to think about association in that way as well. You might have a friend who's got a positive impact on your life and you see them three times a week. And you have a friend who's a negative impact in your life and you see them 3 times a week. You're seeing each other the same amount of time, but one is going to take you down with them a lot faster than the guy who's trying to take you up.
Yeah.
So you just got to be careful of that as well, especially you being so young. Being intentional about who you're associating with, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've got great friends and family around me, so
Good, man. Good.
I've had a great upbringing, to be honest. So I did go through a couple of stages at high school where it was quite difficult, but other than that, like, I have had a pretty good life and a great surrounding cast of just amazing people that have helped me with my journey.
Yeah.
Have you guys sort of had that, or have you guys had a bit more of a difficult,
That's a good question.
more of a difficult upbringing?
I'm going to answer as well, but you go first.
Yeah, I feel like my upbringing's been very family orientated, coming from a Greek heritage in ethnicity. I feel like family's huge in our religion. So the togetherness and even like eating at the dinner table, all at once was really crucial growing up, even to this day. And like even at school, like I went to a really Aussie school. So being WOG, like I wasn't really like well known and like stood out there. So like growing up, I would say like got bullied a lot, but I kind of did. But like I had my family there to support me. But like in high school, I feel like once I started maturing, growing up, and like started becoming very sporty and all that, yeah, that's when I kind of tend to found like my friends a lot in that sense, in that part of it. But like even now, like I don't think I talk to anyone from high school. You know what I mean? Not one person. I'm 23 now, so, and I did go to uni for 3 odd years. So even from that, I don't really associate with anyone from uni or school. So it's really just now like my family's close friends, cousins, and all that, like through like the soccer industry, obviously Nate, and just like friends and family that I associate myself with. So not many people from school and high school, but yeah, like a really like chill upbringing, very family orientated, and something that I'll definitely take upon when I do have kids in the future. But yeah, I feel like that togetherness of families is massive, especially in this day and age, like with technology, social media, and all that. Social bullying. It's even like the social media side of it. Like there's so many kids that get tortured from like even like comments, messages from random people. So you got to be really careful with who you surround yourself with as well. So yeah, that's kind of my chill upbringing. Nate?
Yeah. this Mike. You're going to have fun with it. I have an answer to this for sure. So did I have a loving family? Yes, absolutely. I think that my parents did everything in their power to make sure that we had a great upbringing. My dad worked his ass off. They migrated from Egypt with nothing. So I will never, ever diss that. Very loving. But to answer your question, and this is something I've been thinking about, if, like, there's a difference between loving and they really provide us with everything and all the opportunities, and then them teaching me.
Right.
Okay, so they're very loving, but did they teach me to be a free thinker, to be an entrepreneur, to not go to uni? No, they didn't. It's stuff that I had to figure out on my own. And it's not their fault. It's just that they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they didn't know.
Because they just came here.
They just came here and they thought the right thing was to do was to get a job, work your ass off, buy a house, pay off that house, and they're still paying off the house. You know what I mean? Like, they just didn't have, they weren't informed enough to know what we know now. And so, did I have a loving upbringing? Of course, I'm not going to say anything that opposes that. But if I didn't go on my own and try and find a different network and try and find a different association, then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now because I'd just be mirroring them. And unfortunately, I don't mean this in a mean way, but I don't want the same life that they have. I don't want to be in the middle class trying to pay for a mortgage until I'm 50, 60.
Same here.
And so I can't be doing the same. I can't copy them. And I said this to Dad once, and I didn't mean it in a mean way. It might have come across in a mean way. I didn't mean it, but I said to him, I said, look, don't advise me on what to do with my money, because you're not a multi-billionaire. You're not a millionaire. Like, yeah, you've got a nice a house maybe worth maybe 2 million.
It is a nice house.
Okay, but that's one house, and maybe you have maybe one unit or whatever. You're not a multi-millionaire. I want to be a multi-millionaire. You're still working. You're not financially free. You know, so don't, like, with all due respect, like, you guys did what you could, and I'm going to now take the keys and the reins, and I'm going to try and duplicate it to new levels for you guys, but then also for my future family. But I can't copy what you did because it's going to give me the same results that you guys have, and that's not what I want.
Yes, no, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that was a very long answer to your question, but it's like, yes, I was raised in a very loving atmosphere, but it's not the network I need to succeed.
Yeah.
It's not the association I need to succeed.
Definitely.
That makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all think very differently to what our parents do now.
For sure.
I think we take advantage of social media, AI, what we can do, that kind of stuff.
For sure.
And we can really use it to our advantage. So I'm actually excited to see what future generations think of us. You know, what are they going to be like? Oh, I'm in my VR selling, I don't know, shoes or something.
Yeah.
I've already started thinking about that because the Apple glasses, what are they called? Apple Vision?
Yeah, the Visions.
The Vision Pro thing that came out. I looked at that. I said, I don't want to live life through that.
Yeah.
But then you're right. Our children's children are probably going to live life through that. And they're going to look at us like, how are you not adapting to this new generation? How do you not know how to use this new generation where there are people selling crap like freaking IKEA put up a job application for people to work in their online Roblox, their virtual reality Roblox store.
Yeah,
Roblox, what is it? Roblox?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Like people are actually starting to get jobs in the virtual reality, and we're not really thinking about virtual reality. Like, this is my reality, but we'll see what happens with our kids and our kids' kids. It's
not bad,
funny.
Virtual reality job.
Yeah, man. Like, imagine just sitting there. Have you heard of that, bro?
Yeah. Well, I saw it. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, it's the new age, obviously. Like, people are.
You gonna apply? You're 19.
No.
You probably could.
But maybe you could sell some of your t-shirts and stuff on there as well. Maybe.
$14 an hour.
$14 an hour to operate a Roblox store.
$14 an hour
in the virtual reality.
That's not good, is it?
Good. Look,
it's all right.
It's not the best, but I mean, if you're just like, think about it. If I'm just sitting at home playing a game, like, it's Roblox. I've never played Roblox, but it's a game, and you're getting paid to.
You know how many people are going to apply for that?
Oh, for
so
sure.
many people are applying.
For sure. That's crazy. But is there anything else you want to touch on in terms of like network or association, or any final thoughts?
No. Well, thanks guys for having me on. Yeah, I'm excited what you guys are doing with this space, and I'm sure you guys are going to do really well.
Appreciate it, man. It was good having you on, and I'll let you wrap up, Chris. But yeah, definitely.
Wrap up?
No, I'll let you wrap up. It's all good. Definitely want to continue to collab with you.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in Melbourne, man. Whenever you're in Melbourne, come do a podcast with us.
Yeah.
Whenever you're in Melbourne. And I'm actually going to make the trip out to you Where are you, Wangaratta?
Wangaratta.
How far is that? Like
No,
4
it's like 3.5 hours.
Oh, only? Oh, okay.
Honestly, it's not even worth it.
No, oh, bro, no, come on.
But if you guys want to see the studio and stuff,
For sure. I'll make the trip, man. We'll do like a little day trip, Tycho day trip.
maybe you could play for Wang. Oh, bro, you would kill it.
Bro, I've actually played a couple of tournaments up Wangaratta and Ballarat. I played against Ballarat City. Or
Okay, we're not in their league.
They got a good facility, right? Really good
Okay,
facility.
yeah.
But yeah, growing up juniors, I just play a couple of competitions up Wangaratta. It was funny as like
Sick.
NPL competitions.
Yeah, Ballarat has good facilities. Even now, but like we went
Ballarat's unreal.
basketball stadium up in Ballarat.
Right, is
The
it
stadium
good?
is crazy.
Oh, the Ballarat soccer field is unreal. Like,
I didn't know
the
that
actual
even their
stadium
soccer-
is like top notch,
Well,
like quality.
they got nothing else going for them, so they need a. Oh, you're from Ballarat, bro.
No. I'm Wangaratta.
Where is that?
Oh,
Like
northeast.
Is it?
So-
How far is it from Ballarat?
Oh,
half
a
an hour?
while. No, it's a while.
really?
No,
Oh,
it's the
so
other
what the hell?
way.
Why are we grouping him with Ballarat?
Oh,
Yeah. No, you said Shepparton.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I said
Shepparton.
No, and Shep as well. Tournaments up Shepparton. Always.
Yeah, so no, it's like up northeast. It's like, do you know Albury? It's
I know of it,
Aubrey.
but
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
What about Goulburn Valley? Where are they?
Yeah, so that's next to it.
Yeah, next
that's
to it,
That's
yeah,
next
okay.
to it, yeah.
Well, yeah. Just to wrap it up, I don't know. Like we touched on personal development. Zach, appreciate for coming on, man.
Oh, good,
Shout out
man.
to your podcast.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
What's it called?
Shout out to the Bigger Picture podcast. Always look at the bigger picture. Always look at the future, but don't get too stressed about the future. You know,
unreal.
really enjoy the process.
For sure.
That's a sick name. How'd you come up with that name?
To be honest, it was a school project.
That's wow. Look at that. The bigger picture.
So
And don't be too stressed about the bigger picture. I like that.
So, like, really, I was 18 or something,
Yeah.
just going out of high school, and there was this end media exam, and you
Yeah.
had to create a film. But everyone was doing, like, photography and all this crap, and I wanted to create my own podcast. So,
Nice, man.
yeah.
Good on you.
So,
Well,
started.
I'm sure we'll collab very soon.
Oh, bro.
Face to face. If it's Wangaratta, if it's in the CBD, if it's in
you
a
know
new
what?
studio.
If you need me to do any street interviews with you boys, you know, like, just anything.
Oh, even in the CBD, just like hop on trams, transport, like
Yeah.
Melbourne Central, like it's sick, man.
You know how much viral shit is out there? Like, we could literally go out and do some dumb shit with the Tycho shirt. We get 1 million views, and then
Yeah.
you're sold out, boys.
Yeah.
You have to get a restock.
Done deal, Zach. Shake on it. Shake on it. Shake on
Oh,
it.
Chris.
Shake on it, boys.
Thanks,
No,
Chris.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days, we'll just figure out a day, go to the city, and then do street interviews. We might as well.
Bro,
Have fun. It's a good experience for you, good for us. It'll be good.
Done.
Definitely. And I can bring my camera as well, so
Yeah,
get
of
some
course.
really nice, crispy stuff.
Yeah, done, man. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, guys. See you guys next week.
Go Hawks.
Oh,
Go Hawthorn, let's go. District supporter here. Hawthorn, let's go.
Go Hawks.
We're a happy team at
I thought you know the song.
Hawthorn. What do you mean, bro? I'm a horse supporter.
Egyptian, bro. You guys don't watch AFL.
Oh, he's right. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Well done, boys.
Oh,
How do you feel about that, man?
yeah,